Episode 18. Want to hear it? Here it goes.
The only thing that would have made, I think, this a little bit neater would have been if we would have done something like that, like we would have been walking somewhere and then used this as a stopover to sleep. That would be cool. I've kind of fancied the notion of taking a long walk and then actually camping in an abandoned building.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. 195 mile bike ride. I did a 10-day trip, and I just camped out different spots every night.
Wow, that's amazing.
But every time I went, it sucks because every time you go by a place that's really nice, it's the wrong time of the day. It's like you just started riding, hour or two in, and it's like you can't stop and rest now. You gotta go 8 miles, 8 hours. It's like it's the wrong time of day when you find the perfect spot. Then you're gambling at a certain point. Like, oh, look at that spot. We still got 2 hours we can go, but that's a great spot. It's like,
Wow.
and you go 2 hours and you get BS spot where it's like, oh, we should have stopped back there.
Yeah, you pass up the one good spot.
Yeah.
That's a chance you take, though, I guess. Unless you pre-scout the trip.
Well, I kind of pre-scouted the walk. Well, the hike on the railroad was really, you can't really get on the railroad tracks and get off and try to walk down and see where you can do it. But
EPAC's pretty staunch about that.
okay, well, I told them I saw every about 8 or 10 miles I hid some water and food, and I didn't want to do too far ahead because I don't want raccoons to get it. So I did like 2 days ahead of time and put it in two black trash bags, and hit them at certain mile markers
That's
on the
smart.
track. I wrote those down,
That's smart.
but I didn't just not tell them like I didn't do it. I said, well, I just walked without, I carried everything. I said, no, it was like 65 pounds on my back already, but I make sure I try to be transparent with people. Like, hey, but every time on the camera you saw, I thought I hid more stuff than that, like more water. I was like, I really need a lot of water. And I was like, I thought I hid more and I didn't.
Speaking of which, I need water. There go my knife. Oh, yeah, that's a great angle. Man. But folks, you really not find a whole lot of people that do stuff like this. You just don't. I put on Facebook last night. I put a picture up of me laying on the floor right before we made our first attempt to sleep, before my hips started going crazy on me. And I told people that we were squatting in an abandoned building in a pretty deadly city, which if you look at the FBI site, East St. Louis area still has the highest homicide rate in the country.
I can tell you a percentage. Last percentage was 28% higher than the national average, 20 times. 20 times the national average.
Yeah.
And I used to live in this town, if he didn't tell you, I used to live in this town 35 years. And I used to be on the wrong side of the street. Not like the UK drivers and nothing, but I used to be on that side of the street, and I don't brag about it, about stuff I always say, oh, you so dope. I only brag about it where I used to be and where I'm at now. Where I was a piece of shit.
That shows your journey, though.
Yeah, I was a piece of shit, and I'm a half a piece today. I'm not a whole piece.
Well, you smell good.
Yeah, well,
I mean, for a piece of
yeah, well, once you get older and you don't poke at it, if you poke at shit, it'll get, like I always
He's
say,
not a piece of shit.
yeah, when you're walking on the sidewalk and the people, people are opinionated on the internet, really opinionated, because there's stuff in real life that they'll see and don't like, but they'll wait to get home and call somebody and say, guess what? They won't say it to your face, but on the internet they will. Well, it's like walking on the sidewalk, you see a big pile of poop. It's been there a while. It don't stink. But you go poking at that poop, it gets to stinking. That's what they do. They want to poke at some poop.
Yeah.
Poop pokers.
Yeah, I was telling you that I went to, actually where I was when I found the factory, it was very close to where we are right now. I was in an abandoned factory and found at least 1,000 barrels of illegally dumped saran in barrels. And saran was outlawed or banned by Dow in I think around 2005, because they realized that once you heat it or sun hits it, it breaks down into dioxin, which is one of the deadliest chemicals man's ever made. And kind of a play on dioxin, to give you an example, Return of the Living Dead, they used and made a chemical based on dioxin called trioxin.
Brains!
Either way, so my first video on TikTok, I didn't even know what a hashtag was. So I just dropped an 11-second video when I found the basement, and I freaked out. And I wrote a brief description for it, no hashtags, and I posted it. And right now it's at 30 million views. And I've had so many people to play on what he's talking about with people commenting. That video has almost 9,000 comments on it. And I haven't checked it in a month, so it might have more. But I've had people tell me and I'm not, but I've had people tell me I'm a hero, a monster. You couldn't imagine all the stuff I've been told. Why didn't you report this? And it's a block away from impoverished neighborhoods. And my response was, I contacted police. I contacted Channel 2 in St. Louis. I contacted CBS in St. Louis. They both blew me off. Both of them. The police told me to let it go. They said, Aaron, you're gonna get killed. I wouldn't live, basically. I'd just disappear. And so I reported it to multiple news agencies. I reached out to Tyler Perry. I reached out to Aaron Brockovich. None of them. They both ghosted me. So when it comes down to that location, I mean, I've had people are still getting mad. Why didn't you do this? Why didn't you return? What's about those barrels? Well, I don't know. I did all I could. I mean, I threw my life out on the line for that location. In fact, I went back twice. So I went there 3 times to make sure that nothing had been cleaned up yet, and it hadn't. And I found the name of the location. I found everything I needed to and turned it all in, but nothing. So, you know, I'll say this much, and I'm sure he'll back me on this because he's a content creator. It is very easy for someone in the safety of their home on their couch to watch our videos and tell us, well, here's what you should do, or here's what I do. I guarantee you, if you weren't on your couch, you wouldn't do it either.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we're already taking huge risks just by being in those places, but comments are real. I mean, stuff like that, I've just ignored it because you can only do so much.
Yeah, when I first started content creating, some of the comments used to get at me, and but it just, like I said, when things click, it clicks, and negative comments don't bother me at all. There's people that's just negative in their own life, and it makes them feel better to do it, but they got to keep doing that to feel the way they're feeling when they do it, so they can't. It only lasts a little while, that's what she said, but you have to keep doing that to make yourself feel better. And I always tell people, instead of trying to go after somebody and knock them down, just pick yourself up, That's the biggest thing. Pick yourself up, and, your self-worth and everything, It's just so easy for them to do the negative stuff. And, I mean, content creators, we get paid positive or negative. So you're being negative toward us, we're still getting paid the same as you like the channel. It doesn't matter. It's interaction. That's all the internet cares about. Oh, they interacted. We're going to give them more of what they just interacted with. So you're just signing yourself up. If you don't like it, don't say nothing. Just keep going. You're going to get less of those types of videos. But, if you don't like stealthers and you comment on a stealth video, guess what? They're going to throw other stealthers at you and yours and the one you're watching because you just commented. You just interacted. Oh, whoa, they must like that. We're going to throw more ads. It's like ads to them because they're getting paid by giving you more videos that you will watch, but all you're doing is really commenting and getting yourself worked up, So, but I'm gonna start getting some of this packed up so I can call them. Start getting all the stuff packed up so we can call him to pick us up. And oh,
You all right?
no, yeah, I just gotta get up.
Well, I'll help you.
Get up, get this stuff. Come on. dump that somewhere if you want, and we can rinse it out and use some water, rinse it out. I put all the dirty dishes in the same bag and I can clean them out later. You can put it over by the pots, that pot over there we cooked in last night, and I'll just, I'll put them in the bag later on.
This is just soccer meat.
That's it.
Amen.
Thanks for watching, folks. Stay tuned for the series finale, episode 19, The Exterior Walkaround of Parks Air College.